Let's unbox the Echoes Saga Special Edition books from the Broken Binding. Welcome everyone to the Zillotronics channel, and for today I'll be opening up and taking a closer look at the Echoes Saga Special Edition books from the Broken Bindings, which are contained within this chonky black and yellow package. Let's go ahead and get this thing opened up and let's dive on in. We have here the Broken Binding packaging for the Echoes Saga Special Edition. This is a quite weighty book. I don't really hear any extraordinary sounds by shaking the box, so it's usually a good sign that everything is packaged safe and sound within. Books within look mediocrely packaged, I would say. As you can see here, the ends have none of this hex packaging paper covering them, which can mean we might have some end damage. I've noticed that slight damage, nothing substantial, but any damage is normally a little bit disappointing. They could have done a couple extra wraps vertically here to give us some extra protection. There is some thin layer of a single sheet of bubble wrap for additional support and protection, but usually you want a couple wraps, horizontal and vertical, especially with a 3-book stack. I have heard complaints on Reddit of people usually having some damage, especially shipping internationally when shipping 3 heavy books like this, because it does allow some extra movement, and when it's ping-ponging inside the box, these corners might get smashed a little bit because there's just really not that much protection within a box of that nature. So hopefully not, but we shall see. Here we have the Echoes Saga sticker right here on the corner of this book. You would think this would indicate this is book 1, but my last 3-book set from the Broken Binding, the sticker was actually on book 3. So we'll see, is this book 1, 2, or 3? Here are the 3 books in the set. Book 1, Rise of the Ranger. Book 2, Empire of Dirt. And book 3, Relic of the Gods. This is the first trilogy of 3 trilogies for a total of 9 books. There's additionally some prequels and some other books related to the series, but this is the first trilogy made up of course, 3 books from the Broken Binding. We're going to go ahead and take a closer look at each of these books, and we'll talk about the overall build quality and a little bit of everything else. We'll start with book 1, Rise of the Ranger. Let's go ahead and get the dust jacket off. And to mention, this entire series is sewn bound with acid neutral paper. Here is the naked hardback, gold foil, Rise of the Ranger on the spine and the front, as well as a quote here on the back. Very nice. We'll look at the dust jacket. It is a non-flow through dust jacket, so it doesn't flow the whole way front to back like some of them do, and it's not reversible. It does have a almost weird overlap of the spine of the dust jacket onto the front and back of the cover, as you can kind of see here on all 3 books. See how it kind of hangs over the edge, and from what I read, that is a design decision. So that is not a defect or anything by that nature. It is actually a decision of the design itself for when you put all 9 spines together, when you get all of the 9 books. Go ahead and we'll take a look. We have a nice map in paper in the front. Additionally, we have a map. Yeah, so it's the same map on the back as well. So it's one map in the back, the same map on the rear. And actually, you can kind of see that, but it actually kind of flows together. Even though it isn't the same flowing map, the map does kind of flow into the back end paper, which is kind of cool, even though it is a carryover of the same map. As you can see here, this little peninsula or whatever here, and it's also right here. But it's pretty nice, clear looking sprayed edge here. Very crisp top and bottom sprayed edges as well, which is quite nice, especially for stone bound. Sometimes people have issues, we got a lot of banding or whatever, but this looks pretty crisp overall. So yeah, kind of disappointing that the end paper in the front and back is the same. I would like to see maybe the map in the front or the map in the back, and then maybe an art piece on the other side, not just the same map on the spine. I mean, on the sprayed edge, on the front, on the back. Kind of, it'd be nice to switch it up a little bit. These are the collector's edition, signed by Philip C. Quaintrell. Perhaps that's how it's pronounced. Echoes Saga, book 1. And here we go, 9-book series. You got 3 book in the Ranger Archives, 3 in the Time of Dragons, 4 in the Terran cycle. Another map. They love the maps with this series. Love the maps. We have a map with map and followed by map. So it's like a pimp my ride, I heard you like maps, so I put a map in your map next to your map, so you can have a map and look at your maps with your maps. But as you can see, the paper is relatively thin. I mean, it feels good. It looks like their standard acid neutral paper that Broken Binding likes to use. I mean, it's not horribly thin, but if you push down, you can see pretty plainly the text through the page. But it doesn't really affect reading. Like, this text here is not obscured because the text bleed through. I can still read these texts quite well. The pages are nice and crisp. The print is crisp. Decent sized font. All right. Yeah, see that? Not horrible, but I'd like to see some maybe chapter headers, artwork, or something like that. Something a little bit more exciting. It's pretty plain looking once you get into the book, and I don't believe there's any artwork. There you have it, sewn bound. So, I haven't stretched the spine by any means, but it kind of stays open decent. All my sewn bound books, I do go through a standard spine stretching procedure to help break in your binding without damaging it. You kind of open it up like this, lay it flat, cover front and back, and just drop a couple pages, let it fall flat, drop a couple pages, let it fall flat, push it down a little bit, and you just work your way through the entire book a couple times, get it stretched out a little bit, and that'll help it break in the glue properly and give you a better overall reading experience and help your binding stay undamaged and long lasting, which is pretty essential. So that's book 1. Move that out of the way here. Step over to book 2. Once again, dust jacket kind of overlapped oddly around the front and back of the book. Once again, that is a design decision, so that's not a defect. So if you see that, don't think it's a defect. Same top and bottom sprayed edge, and a continuation of the map. Loving the maps, loving the maps. Go ahead and get this dust jacket off. Front and back, another quote on the back, gold foil carried throughout, right here on the spine. And we have another map, same map as the other maps, and a map in the back. I mean, it's a nice looking map, I'll give them that. It's a nice looking map, I love the colors, weathered look here. Signed here, same paper, another map, we'll flip through it. Same deal, no artwork. Book 2 and book 3. Nice piece of art. I mean, it's nice looking art. I would love to have seen the art flow all the way around, but their design is a flowing spine to make a 9-spine set. So you can understand that. Just definitely odd decision, because when we put them together, this is going to be obscured by the book next to it. So yeah, I don't know. All right, same foil work, same map, once again signed, same paper, same printing, same lack of artwork. Like I said, I would love if they sprinkled in just maybe some fancier chapter headers, maybe a couple black and white imagery, but overall the price of the set is pretty reasonable for being a sewn bound set with acid neutral paper. A little bit of, looks like a little bit of glue or wear here on the map, but nothing crazy. I mean, nothing bad. Overall, the quality of the books feels super nice. No complaints at all with that. Let's see what this map looks like. Oop. Book 1. Here we go. So we got another map for our maps. You see that? Once you get all 9, it'll be the map as well. And of course, it's the opposite when you flip it. So I'll go ahead and get these dust jackets back on, and then we'll lay the spines out and we can see what we are building with the full set. Dust jackets are back on, and this is what the spines with the dust jackets lined up begin to build. As you see here, because the dust jacket wraps around the spine onto the covers, you kind of overlap a little bit. So they still are legible because they do take that into account. So you see you have the full E here and almost the full E here. So, but when you put them together, it once again creates almost the full E, the full E. And it looks like it's just going to say the, Echoes Saga with a dragon, it looks like, being built by the dust jackets. So it'll look pretty sweet on your shelf once assembled, once you have all 9 books. So it's quite a commitment. So hopefully the books are enjoyable. I haven't read them yet. As you saw, I just unboxed them. But they definitely sounded interesting. I heard a lot of people saying it's an amazing series. So looking forward to reading these once I can get through my backlog. They look amazing. So we'll go ahead and wrap this one up. Super happy with the overall quality and construction of the first 3 books of the Echoes Saga, written by the author Philip C. Quaintrell, by The Broken Binding. The sprayed edges are nearly flawless, super consistent and high resolution, especially on the sprayed map edge on the facing side over here. The dust jackets look quite nice. I am a little bit disappointed in the decision on wrapping the spine of the dust jacket around the book with some of the lettering coming over here, especially when you have a kind of a brownish colored cover and then you have this blue kind of wrapping around, kind of breaking up that imagery. A little bit of an odd decision, not a deal breaker by any means. Also, one of the negatives I did find is no sewn in ribbon bookmark, kind of an odd choice. I didn't get a bookmark either, so there's no bookmarks and no sewn in bookmark, so no bookmarks. Another thing I would have liked to see would be not just a million maps. We have, each book has the same exact map 3 times, not counting the sprayed edge map. They're all identically the same. So the front end papers is the map. The back end papers, the same map. A couple pages into the book is a black and white map of the same map. So I think it would have been a great decision if they would have either put the map in the front end papers or the back end papers, and then a commissioned art piece for each specific book on the other end. So the front could have been a commissioned art piece of the book. The rear end papers could have been a map. And then instead of that black and white map, which is just a recursive map of the same map, we could have done either another commissioned art piece, a black and white art piece, or not had that piece at all, and maybe added some specific, chapter header artwork. Book 1 would have a specific, little logo or art piece for every chapter in the book 1. Book 2 would have its own, and throughout the whole 9-book series. Instead, we just got maps, lots of maps. I mean, they're beautiful looking maps. No complaint on the quality of the map. They look great. I love the detail. Looks like a weathered map. Looks great. Just too many maps. We don't need that many maps for a series of books when you can just turn to the front of the book or the rear of the book. You don't have to turn the front and the rear. I'm rambling about maps. I mean, I love maps, but at least maybe different maps would have been cool. But it is what it is. Minor qualm or whatever. Overall, the books arrived in great condition. No damage, even though I was a little disappointed in the quality of the packaging. Typically, you want a couple wraps of the honeycomb packaging material, horizontally and vertically, give us an extra buffer of protection, especially internationally shipping. Who knows what they're doing with that? They're punting it and kicking it and dropping them down the elevator shaft or whatever. But everything arrived safe and sound, so that was good. Overall, the books look great. Hope to read them sometime in the near future. I did hear a lot of great things about this series on Reddit and online and various posts. So that's definitely a bonus. It makes me excited to read these. It is going to be a long commitment if you do read all 9. I don't think the Broken Binding has 4 through 9 available yet, but hopefully they do have that sometime in the near future and you can pick those up. So overall, super happy. If you guys like this video, feel free to subscribe. Hit the little notification bell if you want notifications when the next video comes out. I'm trying to speed up the process of getting these videos out to you guys, and hopefully you guys enjoy them. Feel free to check out my website, zilla.com, Z1LLA.com. It's an aggregate of my 2 YouTube channels into a single website, plus my merchandise store, which has not really super related to this channel, but have some t-shirts and hats, emblems for your vehicle if you're following my vehicle YouTube channel. And hope to see you guys in the next video. Anyways, have a good one. See ya.